Welcome back to episode 5 of Bold Broadcasting. My name is Big Rob. I am joined today with the Bold Broadcasting team. We have correspondent Ashleigh here, also David Abaganya in-house as well.
Wow, that's so not the right way to say it.
Abaganya?
Yeah.
A bag of Funyuns?
We've been in business for 3 years. You still don't know how to say my last name?
No, man.
It's fine. We can leave it the way it is.
How do you say my last name?
It's a hard one.
Hey.
I can't say it. We'll get canceled.
Why? Welcome back to the show, everyone. So episode 5. So if you're new here, this is a new venture of ours. And so you might recognize this from other channels, but this one here, we like to do our trending topics and today's biggest news headlines. And always, every day until it becomes irrelevant, we're going to discuss Diddy and what's going on with his court case, because I feel like there's going to be more and more people that get exposed because his parties had all kinds of A-list celebrities and politicians at his freak-off events, which we know that Diddy is currently sitting behind bars. Also, one of our favorite candidates out there, RFK, Robert Kennedy Jr., he has made a post and attacked the food industry. And so we're going to kind of talk about that as well. And then also, just a couple days ago, we had Meta announce their new AR glasses, augmented reality. And it's not what you think it is. It isn't your traditional VR headset. It's, well, just a pair of glasses. And so we're going to kind of talk about that, plus much, much more. And so we'll get right into it. First of all, before we get into today's topics, did you see the Ohania's 50-50 home run ball? Did you see that?
Who's? Ohtani?
Ohtani, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. Yeah.
I'm not a baseball guy. I think baseball is the most boring sport there is. You like baseball?
No, but this is an interest. So basically, you remember when the Mark McGwire thing happened and Sammy Sosa when they were hitting home run balls and breaking the home run record?
And they found out that he was on juice.
Yeah, but before that, what happened?
But he was on juice when he was doing it.
So what happened before was the home run balls were auctioned off for millions and millions of dollars. So Ohtani's home run ball was supposed to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And so a lot of people were anticipating this and, and the potential auction or the potential return that they would get for the ball. So what do you think happened? All these people were in the fans. You hear the crack of the bat, and then everyone's rushing to try to catch this ball. And so...
Let me guess. An adult stole the ball from a child.
No, it was adults fighting from
each other.
Yeah. So anyways, here's the headline. And so you have fan claiming ownership of Ohtani's 50-50 home run ball, which he files a lawsuit to stop the auction. And so, the opening bid was for $500,000. And we're estimating that the sale of this could be upwards of $50 million.
What's a 50-50 ball? I go, what does that mean? What is that?
Not exactly sure, to be honest with you.
I don't really understand hardcore baseball fans. Like, why do you need the ball?
It's memorabilia.
It just got hit by the bat. Like, what do you need the ball for?
What do you mean? It has
It's rich people out here trying to flex on their collectibles.
Listen, some rich people run out of ideas, so they have freak offs. Others run out of ideas and they buy $500,000 baseballs.
Yeah, I mean, think of it like it's it's a collector, right? Collectors, whether or not they have.
But why? Like, go to
Picasso.
Walmart and buy a ball. Rub it in some dirt. It probably looks the same.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Who's your favorite actress?
I don't have one.
Who's your favorite actor?
Also don't have.
Who's your favorite sports player?
Don't do that.
Who's your? Okay.
I don't care. Like that's like.
What do you? Okay, so what do you care about?
Dogs.
Okay, who's your? Okay, I know you live on TikTok. Who's your favorite TikTok?
Unicorns. Yeah.
Who's your favorite TikTok account?
I also don't know.
Okay,
I don't care.
This conversation's going nowhere. Okay, all right. She doesn't know who her favorite. You literally are on TikTok all day.
Exactly.
You don't know your favorite account?
That's not how that works. I just be scrolling. I don't
She
know.
just be scrolling. All right, so
But once again, why are we collecting a ball?
Well, I'm trying to explain to you, but I can't get a damn answer out of you. So you're just gonna have to try to figure it out on your own, I guess.
It doesn't make sense to me. Go ahead.
here's a clip. All right, so what do you think? So the lawsuit alleges that the gentleman that's suing had the ball in his hand under his leg, and then it got wrestled out from the person that's selling it. So the person that's selling it ripped it out of his hand. And so here's let me get some.
Not surprised.
So here you can see here.
Oh my God! Get it! Oh my God! No way! No! Oh my God!
So you see this guy. Look at him. Look between his legs. So it looks like he just ripped it out of somebody's hand.
Oh my God!
I mean, what do you think there?
Oh yeah, the guy in the red. So who had it originally?
The guy in
It
the
looks like he ripped it from between his own legs.
No.
I don't know. You got one guy on the floor. Here's my thing. Can you imagine if people had the same type of tenacity in everyday life as they do trying to grab a baseball?
And then this was another angle of it here. And so, yeah, man, these people are going crazy for this thing, man. So whether or not there's any merit to this, I don't know. It just brings up an interesting, conversation on, the fans and sports. Like over here fighting and ripping the balls out of each other's hands.
Dude, I'm not surprised. I've seen videos of literally kids catching fly balls and then like adults
A
just
grown ass man going up there and taking it right out of their hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, have you figured out the answer to your question?
No, I still think it's stupid. Like fighting over a damn ball is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Oh.
Maybe if you caught it, yay, caught a ball.
Let's pretend.
But like,
let's play a game.
let's play a game.
Let's pretend you're
Here we
an
go.
avid basketball fan. Let's pretend that LeBron James is your favorite basketball player. Okay?
Do I rip the jersey off of him?
No,
what do you
hear me
mean?
out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Would going to Walmart and buying a basketball be the same as him handing you a basketball that he played with? Which one
Probably-
holds more value to
Probably
you?
not. Probably
Okay,
not.
so there's your answer.
But fighting over a damn ball is still the stupidest shit I've ever heard of.
Okay, let's just pretend. Okay, here's a better analogy. Okay, because Dave is terrible at trying to.
That's a good analogy.
No, it's terrible. All right, so if all of a sudden a ceiling panel just fell down in the studio, and then $500,000 was just fell on the floor, and we all looked at each other, you wouldn't try to grab it?
Well,
No, I'm just saying
What
that.
does that have to do with the ball?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
no
your
ball
analogy
here.
is way dumber than
No.
No, that's a dumb-
$500,000, ceiling panel falls, it just hits the middle of the floor. And we all look at each other and we look at this money on the floor and we know it belongs to none of us. What? You're not going to try to grab it?
I would, but
Okay, that's it. That's what they're trying to grab. They're trying to
Why
grab.
is a ball worth money?
Listen, the ball identifies as $500,000. Does that make sense?
That's it. All right. All right. So let's shift this one to RFK. So Marjorie Taylor Greene on her Twitter account posted, holy shit, Robert Kennedy just exposed Democrats for poisoning children's food. This is massive. I'm curious if he's going to catch any backlash from perhaps the food industries or the brands behind the one mentioned. This is a 5-minute clip, so I'm going to probably just play a couple minutes of it.
This is what most
but
Americans
let me know what you think.
innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way until the early.
He talks about the history.
Cataclysm, and now it's
And
what
so-
that approves the poisons in our food. A few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean. Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears.
feel like
Everyone knows that these
feel
are
like
junk
somebody's gonna
foods,
try to
so
sue him,
maybe
man.
you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tetrazine, or yellow dye number 5.
interesting.
What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination
so,
of coal tar all around the
little
country because
backstory.
it's so toxic
RFK
and so
hold on.
harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know back then that this yellow dye, tartrazine,
he did
causes
work
tumors, asthma, developmental delays.
So he worked
neurological
for the
damage,
Environmental
ADD,
Protection
ADHD,
Agency, the
hormone
EPA,
disruption.
and he was, trying to work on the environment as far as rivers, streams, things like that, and then which led him down this rabbit hole of, hey, the chemicals that we're trying to ban in our food or in an environment are found in our foods, and so that's what he's been kind of pushing against. So
Add this to your kids' favorite foods. It doesn't even change the flavor. This yellow dye isn't just in junk food. It's in the foods that we consider healthy. It's in everyday kids' snacks like popcorn, mac and cheese, fruit snacks. It's in sports drinks like Gatorade and so-called vitamin water. It's even
which is interesting because what he goes on to say in this video, and in which I did through a little bit of research here after this, is that yellow number 5 is banned in the EU and in a handful of other countries. So the European Union doesn't allow it. So does other countries. And yet it's here in the US, and why hasn't it become, why aren't we like investigating it, or at least trying to ban it, or whatever it is? It's like, and then going down, and so what you need to know about number 5, so it causes ADHD, also.
He also didn't he tie it back to he mentioned something about hormones, that it decreases testosterone or increases
been added to chicken broth, to
estrogen
corn,
and-
to
and
pickles, to
men.
mustard, and to yogurt.
and he tried to make.
And so, of
and
course, our
I think I
kids get
saw it
sick
on
from
social media
Yeah,
somewhere.
so you have tumors,
Intestinal
asthma,
food.
developmental delays, neurological damage,
hormone disruption, there it
ADHD,
is.
hormone, gene, depression, anxiety, and then he goes on to say that it's been pushed onto our food supply through the education system with lunches at school. And, at the end of the day, all of this gets treated, the symptoms get treated by pharmaceutical companies, or, by big pharma here.
That's a
in the US.
cogwheel. It's a cogwheel, right? It's like money makes the government go round. These lobbyists, they fund government entities like the CDC, the NIH, the FDA. They get laws and regulations pushed through that they want to get pushed through. And then on the back end, when people start feeling sick or they start getting fat, guess what? They go to their doctor. And guess what, guys? The United States and New Zealand are 2 countries only in the entire world that it is legal to advertise prescription medication. 2 countries in the world, US and New Zealand. That's it. So you go to your doctor, you say, hey, I'm feeling sluggish, I'm getting a little weight. Here, take this sample pill and try it. And now that cogwheel spins and that money flows into big pharma. And then that money from there goes lobbies the politicians who pass laws, and the wheel continues. It's funny that the United States is spends the most money on healthcare per capita, but is the least healthiest population in the world.
Yeah, out of the modern nations that have, developed healthcare system and has healthcare essentially for everyone. If you get sick, you can go to a doctor, regardless if you have insurance or not. And
I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast. He had Sean Ryan on. He used to be a Navy SEAL. He's got his own podcast. And Sean Ryan brought up an app. I forgot the name of the app, but you scan the barcode that you check out at the grocery store, and it pulls up a list of all the ingredients. And it tells you which ones are harmful, which ones are not. What, like example, if you scan the Cheetos that he showed or mac and cheese, it would show you yellow dye, and it'll show you all the things it causes, the negative side effects. And so, but how many people are taking the time to do that versus we're caught up in busy lives trying to pay bills and, you know, make money and take one vacation a year, that people don't spend the time to look at a label and say, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good.
The animal tests, the studies done on animals, like particularly the rats, I think they're doing it in a scientific environment. It's pretty scary, dude. And you know, that's something that we're all consuming. I remember growing up, we used to be rumors like, hey, don't drink Mountain Dew because it has yellow 5 in it. And I remember that was like 20 years ago. And it's, you know, how long has this been, you know, if it is as poisonous as said here, you know, how come it's been 20 years? It's not like this is something new that's been added. This has been something that's been around for a while.
You think it's people's lack of knowledge, or you think it's just their laziness?
Nobody knew any better back in the day.
Well, now.
Yeah, now.
What about now?
Now I think it's just money, right? It's
I'm saying on the consumer end.
I think it's just most of the terrible stuff for you is the cheapest option.
That's an interesting point too. Are people being so crunched financially that they're like, I just got to get the cheapest option?
It's no surprise that your organic food that is free of these ingredients come at a premium, right? And so what can be afforded by middle income and impoverished individuals is low quality food that is basically made in factories instead of from a farm, from you know, a small producer that, you know, say, you know, someone that's baking here in town, you know, a local bakery where they're just taking, you know, just simple ingredients and making breads and snacks and cookies and things of that nature. That's gone, right? Or at least it's not available for impoverished individuals because it's going to come with a price tag. It's a lot cheaper just to put everything on an assembly line and put, you know, a million chemicals to make sure it can sit on the store shelf for 2 years.
You know, it's funny. When I was in Sweden, the biggest supermarket chain there is called ICA, I-C-A. And when you go in there and shop, you know, you go here to like Walmart or Smith's or, I don't know, Ralph's, Kroger's, whatever. There's like a section that's like organic, right? It's labeled organic. You go to like in Sweden, there is no organic section.
Yeah.
There isn't. So
the country is organic, you know, it's not this section. And so, and it's funny because that section is usually 10 feet long. The grocery store is, you know, 20,000 square feet.
Yeah. So
it just goes to show you, I don't know, you got any insight? I know you're heavy on the snacks there.
I do eat a lot
Ashleigh,
of snacks.
so.
I just now learned about the yellow dye thing. I've heard a lot about red dye. Is that also not a thing, or is yellow dye worse now?
No, that's definitely a thing. And so, you know, at the end of that one, at the end of that is he lists a lot of other ingredients as well that, you know, are on his radar. And so, I mean, I don't know, man. It's interesting where we're at now. And do you think that with Trump and RFK getting into office that they will ban these products, or do you think that they will kind of cave into the big food and FDA and these companies? Because, I mean, these are multi-billion-dollar companies. So, I mean,
I think the first thing you have to do is you have to get those lobbyists out, right? You know, you talk about every decision that's made, whether it's for health, the government, whatever, someone stands to make money or someone paid for that. And so when the pandemic happened and all of a sudden they're all pushing a vaccine, my first question is, who's making the money, right? And so when you have a motive, when I look at something and I say, okay, country A doesn't have lobbying, it's a government subsidized Medicare program, they're not really pushing the vaccine, versus a company or a government who every single decision that is made and imparted on its public, someone stands to make a lot of money. So that's the thing for me, is you got to get rid of that. And then you got to gut these agencies. I mean, how is it that, and I'm kind of going off the rail here, but how is it that the CDC came out and said, yeah, we were wrong about X, Y, and Z during the pandemic, but no one was held liable. No one was sued. No one was fired. No one was anything. It was just like, oh, yeah, guys, sorry, yeah, we were wrong. Oh, by the way, the vaccines we pushed, X amount of people died or got turbo cancer or whatever you want to name it in there. No one's held liable. So, it's a system I think is broken, but I think it's so deeply embedded with bureaucrats and money and lobbyists. I don't think it's going to take a president there for 4 years to completely fix it. Because guess what? If Trump gets elected and they go in there and they start the process, guess what? 4 years goes by pretty damn fast. And who's the next person that's going to come in there? And are they going to continue? Or that's going to reverse everything.
Well, I mean, if they ban certain chemicals and additives, I mean, I find it hard for another president to come in.
Unban just as easy as you ban.
I know, I understand that philosophy, but I don't think they will. Right? I think that what you're going to find is that we saw it with the trans fat or whatever it was. It got removed from Oreos. There was like certain kind of oils.
Wait, isn't trans fat, does that identify as good fat?
so I don't know. I think that they will. If it's removed, I find it hard to reverse that because I think that it'll be such an item that is discussed, right? Such a headline or item. Hey, we banned this. I think that if you reverse it, I think that you're kind of going against science there at that point. And so I
think they give a shit about science?
Yeah. All right, I did.
Who's paying my bills?
I want to give an update on the Diddy trial, or at least the Diddy situation. And so, coming out of the Diddy lawyer camp, we if you missed that last week's headlines, Diddy, as part of the indictment and the Department of Justice coming out with their press release, had said that they had found tens of thousands of bottles of baby oil and lubricant for his freak-off parties. And that, I don't know. Obviously, you can kind of think about what you could do with that. But there's no need for a man to have 10,000 bottles of baby oil. And his lawyer responded to this by saying that, hey, there's a Costco right down the street. My man Diddy was just buying it in bulk. Nothing to see here.
Okay, first of all, fire the lawyer immediately. If my lawyer is a dumbass that he's trying to stick up for me, and his best reasoning is, well, there's a Costco down the street. Hold on. Could there not have been a better explanation? I mean, there is a good explanation.
And here's even, and then the funny thing is Costco came out with a press release. Costco responds after Diddy's lawyer claims Mogul bought baby oil in bulk. And here you go. A representative from Costco told TMZ that none of their U.S. stores carry baby oil in bulk. Costco does sell hair and cleansing gel for babies, but no baby oil. And so, what if you're a lawyer and you're going to come out and say, hey, my man was buying baby oil from Costco. Did you even check to see if Costco sold it?
I mean, I think a better explanation would have been, he was getting ready to, buy a bodybuilding competition.
My boy had ashy elbows, he had to do something.
One bottle of baby oil would do for a while, right? Not
baby oil lasts for so long. I mean, maybe not for whatever he's using it for, but it does last.
I don't know. I'm imagining a kiddie pool and some hired talent. That's what hired talent, kiddie pool. This ain't speculation. The man literally hired talent. That's sex slaves, prostitutes.
Let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you a question first. You have a daughter. I have a daughter. Say your daughter's 18, 19, 20. She's like, Dad, I want to go into acting, right? And she blows up, becomes famous. Does the Hollywood scene scare you as a father? And if it does,
hell yeah.
Would you tell her to not go into that industry altogether, or what would be your advice to her?
I mean, if there's dangers and perils in every direction.
Bro, that industry is satanic.
I agree, but I don't know. I feel like there's also positives in every. I mean, we're in media and broadcasting, and we're TV personalities, right? I mean, so at the end of the day, it just depends on, are you going to shield yourself? Are you going to turn a blind eye to the, to the toxicity that there is in the world? I mean, what industry, you look at banking industry, you look at the media industry, you look at pharmaceuticals. I mean, you look at politics, you look at lawyers, doctors. And so is there really a quote unquote like luxurious profession out there, that carries big money? Because I think the problem in here is that you get rich people and people just start acting weird when they got a lot of money. And so whether or not it's people in front of a camera or people in political positions or it's CEOs, I think that is just what happens when people have power. They abuse power, and then they also have money to indulge in their fantasies. Power plus money, fantasies, creepos. I think that's what you get no matter where you go.
I would be scared to death. I wouldn't want her to. I don't care. I think people get caught up in money.
And so what do you think about Wall Street? A successful businesswoman, 30 years old and at the top of a...
I can name
You've seen the Wolf of Wall Streets, and you've seen...
The throwing the midgets at the dartboard was pretty funny.
I'm just saying that I feel like it's just money, bro. It's money and power. And whatever profession it is, I mean, would you be scared to run into a media career as far as like Hollywood style?
I mean, after learning all the Nickelodeon stuff and all the stuff that the producers did to the kids,
that's crazy.
I wouldn't be down with it. I will say that when I was a kid, though, my dad was really big on like the acting, the singing, the modeling, and it was just not a fun time. So I don't know. I feel like with the whole Nickelodeon thing, I wouldn't want to do it like nowadays either.
And then they did have Suge Knight came out and had discussions. Now Suge Knight in prison as well, and so he did have an interesting phone call here. I have a little snippet
with the FBI and of his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out.
So we've talked about it before, and we know that there's probably more to the people that are entangled into this Diddy situation. And, we mentioned like, are we going to have A-list celebrities that are going to be exposed? Because at the end of the day, if you partaked in these parties, I mean, you're going to be held liable, right? That's what the Justice Department said. And I don't for a second think that
just like
Diddy's going to be
just like the Epstein people that were held liable, right?
Well, I mean, dude killed himself, so
what about
everything disappeared.
What about the people that went there?
Yeah, but exactly how can you hold people accountable if the man that was hosting the events offed himself?
There was a client list.
Yeah, but
there was a list, a log of who visited the island.
And I understand it, but the thing is like from a court case perspective, how can you prosecute those people when they go to an island that's run by one individual and, a handful of helpers, and that one individual that was in charge dies? I mean, it's not coincidence,
Guess
right?
who's not dead? His girlfriend.
Yeah.
He was in prison.
Yeah, and I think that obviously I think there's a lack of charges, court cases, prosecution, following up on leads, because of powerful people don't want their names exposed, right? I mean, you had prime ministers, presidents. I mean, the list is A-list as it gets, right?
I heard the Queen of England was there too before she passed.
No, she was not. Stop. All right. So
Queen Elizabeth had a freak off.
Did want to. So Meta.
It's a lot of baby oil you got there, Diddy.
Boy. All right. So Meta had they had Meta Connect 2024. This is like their little conference, the internal one, kind of like Apple does. They showcase all of their new products they're excited about and emerging tech. They did have the new VR headset announced, which is a cheaper version. But
hold on, can we talk about real quick, can we talk about Mark Zuckerberg's complete like makeover? From odd, strange lizard man to like a Sigma male.
A Sigma male, huh?
I mean, look at it. Dude looks, I mean, he looks like he can walk into a club and pull a couple girls.
You know, he's definitely very.
He's gotten a
changed.
makeover, bro.
I feel like he just joined a boy band, and
He's
he just
gotten
like
a complete makeover, wearing chains, surfing with the American flag in his hand and a beer in his other hand.
MMA, like
Dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Good
like,
for him.
dude,
good for him, bro.
Okay, anyways, what is?
Because here's the thing: money can only buy you so much things, right? Money can't buy you a physique. It
buy you baby oil.
It can't buy you a lot of baby oil.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, you're not. You know, dude's been actively working out a lot, training, and so you can't buy that. So hats off to my man here, you know, because you know a lot of people with money just get fat and lazy and just buy expensive stuff and go out to dinner all day. So shout out to Zuckerberg for you know keeping it stylish.
I am about to have a conversation with Brandon Moreno, former UFC flyweight champion of the world, where he is speaking Spanish and I am speaking English.
This is hold on. This is here's the Orion. So those are the Ray-Ban glasses.
Fully functioning prototype. And if I do say so, the most advanced glasses the world has ever seen. They're not a headset, no wires, less than 100 grams. They need wide field of view, holographic displays.
So this isn't
sharp enough to pick up details.
It isn't a VR headset. It's just glasses you wear that overlay.
Bright enough to see in different lighting conditions.
You know, computer graphics in front of you, right?
Large enough to display a cinema screen or multiple monitors for working
not for
wherever
sale,
you go,
but
whether you're
they're just showing
in a
off
coffee
the tech.
shop or
$10,000
or wherever you are.
for them to manufacture one pair right now.
And you need to be able to see through them. And people need to be able to see that through them too and make eye contact with you. Right? This isn't pass-through. This is the physical world with
interesting thing here,
holograms
though,
overlaid
here in a moment,
on it.
he'll get
It is
into
a
it,
completely new
is
kind
that
of display
it
architecture.
uses Neuralink.
With these tiny projectors in
Really?
the arms of the glasses that
here you go.
a battery that fits in the arm of the glasses. It is a absolutely incredible amount of technology to be able to miniaturize and fit into a pair of glasses and a new hand tracking and eye tracking so you can select UI elements by what you're trying to do with your computer out loud. Hand tracking is neat for controlling different interfaces, but you don't want to like walk down the street like this, right? So I think that you need a device that allows you to just send a signal from your brain to the device. So this isn't just the first full screen, like full wide field of view holographic AR glasses. This is also the first device that is powered by our wrist-based neural interface. We do still have a few things.
Interesting enough is that instead of using your hands, like clicking stuff or using your voice to be like, hey, Siri, you're just incognito, just moving your fingers, man. And so you're like scrolling like this, right? I mean, you're just throwing your hand up.
You're playing thumb war with yourself.
Yeah, and this is how you would navigate. And it's all tracked by a wearable wrist band. And so for this, it tracks the movement of your wrist and whatever it is, and all of the neurons that go to your brain from your hand. And so very interesting on the emerging tech here.
I'm curious, are they going to have like, because obviously I wear glasses, prescription glasses. Is it going to come to a point where you can like put in what prescription your glasses are and make custom lenses to where you don't like?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. My big takeaway here is the Neuralink part, though. I think that, when I think of Neuralink, I think of Elon Musk and X and, his what was the name of his company? Is it called Neuralink or what is it called? The one where he's putting the chip inside of the stem cell. Neuralink. So the fact that this is done without a surgery and basically you just wear a wristband, I think is very intriguing. I think that that's more of an indicator of what the future is going to hold. I think that us, instead of getting a computer chip implanted into our head, I think that just simply having...
Would you ever do that?
No. Well, maybe.
What?
What?
There's one Two circumstances I would do it. One, because they've shown with Neuralink, if you're blind, it can make you see again. I would do that. Or if you're if you have a I believe
Elon
ALS.
Musk was on the Lex Friedman podcast, and he said, if we're putting in the Neuralink to help someone's ailment, and we have an opportunity to scale up their physical attributes, perhaps make them, have a better respiratory system, be able to run faster, be able to think a little bit more, have more cognitive thinking.
Cyborgs.
Yeah, so basically he was saying that, like, hey, if we're already in there putting in a chip, why not juice the man up to give him, extra benefits? And so for me, I do find, and maybe it's not within the next 10 years, but I do think that we find ourselves in a situation where people are going to have a leg up against competition because they have a Neuralink that they'll be able to, maybe they'll be less tired. Maybe they can suppress some of the feelings of being tired. Maybe they can have more energy. Maybe a Neuralink can suppress.
Maybe answers to those already exist without getting a chip in your brain.
Yeah, 100%. But let's just say that you say you have two candidates, right? And you're hiring for position, and one person has a Neuralink, and that the evidence supports that these people work harder. Which one are you going to hire, right? Or let's just say that you hired two people without the Neuralink, and then you finally hire one. And you're like, dude, this dude's a machine, literally. And so, what productivity? And now you go to hire a second person. And so all I'm saying is that you're going to have an edge at some point when it comes to technology and human interaction. And the thing is that we always assume that it's going to be a computer chip. And so it might just be a simple wearable. And the wearable itself can essentially give you control into the digital space without any surgery. And so you can, browse the web, you can browse the web, you can have a conversation with somebody and in a completely different language and then understand what they're saying. You can walk out, you can go to Italy and then just get off the plane, speak no Italian, don't even pull your phone out, just have your glasses on and just understand everything everyone is saying.
Robin, I don't know if you're just really excited, but you're sounding like a crackhead talking about this.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I need that tech, man. I'm telling you, man, AI is changing the world. And so I use AI all the time when it comes to our, producing our content, or at least in the side of putting the studio together. A lot of this wouldn't have been possible without AI, right? I mean, we don't, instead of calling a video and audio engineer and having a team come by and draw plans for a studio, we're just, hey man, ask
get a brain
AI,
implant,
bro. That's it, man. Yeah, get a brain implant, bro.
Yeah, it'll work out real well until they find out how to hack into it and turn us all into fucking zombies.
So now moving on, here's an interesting one on Kamala Harris. So
love talking about Kam.
Yeah, Camel Toe Harris. So you have Kamala Harris tells MSNBC working at McDonald's was not a small job. I did the fries. And so she's doubling down. We know that there's been lots of talk where she hasn't been.
Didn't McDonald's come out and say, no, she did not work for us?
It's franchise owned. So I think it's 60 to 70% of McDonald's are owned by corporate. So she did not work for a corporate location, but perhaps a smaller franchise so it's hard to disprove it, put it that way, but there's no evidence that says she's ever worked there.
Actually, the story is that's how she met Willie Brown, mayor of San Francisco. He was late night, got the munchies, he wanted a McFlurry and some fries, and there's old Kamala. And the rest is history.
What? Let's see if I think I had, let me see if I can. Oh, here's another Kamala video. So check this one out. What do you think about this? This is in regards to the hurricane. So
before I begin, I will say a few words about Hurricane Helene.
Sorry. Here we go.
So the president and I, of course, are monitoring the case and this situation closely, and we urge everyone who is watching at this very moment to take this storm very seriously, and please follow the guidance of your local officials.
Okay, I saw something that people are slowing her videos down and make it sound like she's drunk. And
Oh,
I
you
have
think
not
so?
and I have not had the time to look into that.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't doubt that there's I don't know. I mean, I'm torn because I can believe that she drinks and she's just not very smart. But I can also believe, whether it's on the left or the right, people like to manipulate to fit their bias.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see a scenario where clips are taken, slowed down, and then it seems like she's slurring her words or drunk.
Perhaps.
But she's still not the...
All right, and then some quick fire news. Couple things here. You have Ford has been awarded a vehicle advertisement patent for ads on its info display. What do you guys think about this?
Wait, what?
So Ford, you know the center console, the little
Get
screen.
the fuck out of here.
What do you think about getting? And look, this is the patent. This is the patent
Get
that was
the
filed.
fuck-
So here, center console,
What the
selected
fuck?
ad.
What
bro.
the fuck? All right. Okay, you know those gas stations where you start
That's what.
pumping?
That's gonna be your car.
Fuck that shit, bro. Hell no. I'm fucking sorry, dude. We get ads thrown at us every fucking where we go. Everywhere we go, it's fucking ads.
Well,
The
okay,
last place
let me
I want
ask-
is in my car.
Let me ask you a question. If you have a car that you're looking to buy, it checks everything. The
No,
price is good,
no,
but they have
no,
ads
no,
that you can't turn off in the center
No.
console.
No.
What if it's a subscription model where
Nope.
you pay $15 and the ads
Fuck,
go away?
I'm not paying 15. Hey, let me spend 50 grand for a car and then pay $15 to not be shown ads in that car. No. Helen,
That is coming, bro. Whether you want to
That's
or not,
stupid.
I'm sorry. That is on the way.
You know, okay, the one benefit I can see to this is the people that cannot afford a car, now some of that will be subsidized by advertisers.
That is so wrong, bro. It is so wrong.
I agree.
Like, I feel like you're gonna be like, hey, gas is $5.50 a gallon.
if you
Or
watch this ad-
if you watch this ad all day long while you're driving, you'll be able to buy the gas for $4.50. Where does it stop? Next thing you know, it's gonna be on your phone. You're gonna go to make a phone call and be like, networking and text message data rates are at high peak volume right now. Either pay 50 cents or watch this ad. You're just like, just let me send a text. Or, perhaps, watching, we see it with YouTube videos. So, I mean, it's not that crazy, man. Maybe, I don't know. It's coming, bro. It's coming whether you want to or not. What do you think about ads, Ashleigh, on your
Can you
car?
not just turn it down? Is it not your radio?
No,
Yeah.
it's like a...
It's the screen.
Can you imagine you got your navigation on your screen in your car,
Oh.
and then all of a sudden, hey, do you need more baby oil? Visit Costco on Roscoe and 15. That's the future we're looking at.
Never mind, that's dumb as hell. I thought it was just on the radio.
No,
No,
on the
it's by
screen.
Ford. It's on the screen. The same thing when you're
Ford.
pumping gas at the gas station
Yeah.
and they roll
The
that.
annoying ones.
Just imagine that
Fords
one
suck anyway.
rolling on.
Who's
your,
buying a Ford?
Come on,
Ford
Toyota
does
man
suck.
myself.
it's American,
Yeah.
Quick
American
news
suck.
here. 20-year-old man takes own mother to court for throwing away his comic book collection.
You go, girl, guys.
So,
Man.
20-year-old Taiwanese man
Tiny-
got
tiny
mad after his elderly mother threw away his prized manga collection. And so, mom, 64 years old, and living in Taiwan, 32-volume Attack on Titan manga collection. So, you think she was justified, or do you think
Look,
he's overreacting?
The only excuse for mom is if she's got Joe Biden level cognitive decline, and she had no idea what she was doing. But if she did it on purpose,
Y'all, what about you? What do you think about this?
So, well, hold on. So this man cried
20-year-old man takes his own mother to court for throwing away his comic book collection.
that he collected probably his whole life.
That's still dumb as hell.
On whose part?
Why is he crying? Like,
Y'all are missing the point.
Okay, Ash.
Who the hell sues their mom? Like,
I would.
that's what I'm saying. Why is he
Mom,
crying?
you
cannot,
over
like,
this
Mom,
shit?
I would never sue. I love it.
that's the whole point here is who takes their mom to court, bro? And
For
then
something so stupid.
if
too.
she burned down your apartment or like crashed your car, okay, maybe. But To sue your mom?
Robin, let's say you had a collection of parakeets. Quick.
Oh, here we go.
And you've been collecting them since you were 5.
Context,
your mom
I
decides
have
to
a
sell 'em.
bird, and he's my best friend.
And let's say you have 20 of them. You've been collecting them, and your mom decides to just sell them. What would you do?
I'm not going to sue my mom. I don't care. There's no circumstance that makes me sue my mom. I'm not doing it, bro.
That's dumb.
I know you got some bar that gets crossed where you're like, all right, mom, taking you to court.
Yeah.
Got this lawyer retainer. So just like when you gave me retainers, payback. All right. So, and then I think that was, and then you had the study had 10 and 11-year-olds asked about Trump and Harris. This was on CNN. And so kind of interesting to get kids' perspectives on.
You know what I love about kids is they don't give a shit. They will tell it how it is, how they feel. They don't care about your feelings. They don't know any better. And so when they speak, you know they're speaking.
Dude, the best is, I got my daughter in a grocery store. She just pulls on somebody's leg and be like, you're fat. I'm like, what the like,
well, anyways.
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm interested.
Okay.
Interested to listen to that.
Awkward. Yeah. So here we go.
Head when you hear the name Kamala Harris.
Liar. What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Which one do you think is more selfish?
Like selfish? Probably her.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, because girls are a little bit dramatic sometimes.
Boo!
And do you think that people in the United States are ready to have another 4 years of Donald Trump if he's reelected?
No.
Why not?
Because, I feel like all he does is, complain and, yell.
So kind of interesting. I'm not going to play the whole thing there, but.
If you only knew, children, what your parents are going through right now.
So the interesting thing, though, is what they found with this study of 10 and 11-year-olds is that they were just as divided as the adults. And I think a lot of kids kind of follow suit with parents' ideology.
I was going to say, don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you would think that there wouldn't be as much toxicity or polarized thinking. I think that what you didn't hear was, oh, hey, it's a girl, I'm a woman. I like to see her as a president. Oh, Donald Trump's a successful businessman. It's very inspiring. Didn't catch any of that, right? They took what we already hear echoed throughout television and social media, and it's, hey, he's been indicted. He's went to, he's got felonies for her. I don't trust her. She's a liar. And so kind of interesting, the kids obviously are sponges, and, they not only pick up your good and bad habits, but they also pick up your political ideology. I mean, do you agree? Do you think you can have a kid that could be Democrat and you be a Republican parent?
If my kid was a Democrat, he'd leave the house. Sorry.
You just answered my question. And then also there was an interesting study, and they found that you were more likely to have a successful marriage having different religions like Jewish and Christian or Muslim and or Catholic.
How long ago was that poll done?
This was only a few years ago. So you were more likely to have a successful marriage with different religions, even very, very strong religious backgrounds, than to have Democrat and Republican as. So there is little chance. If you meet somebody on a dating website, if you're Republican, she's Democrat, there's little chance of that thing working. Just very, very interesting, right? I mean, so for compatibility for people, you kind of have to be on the same side of the aisle when it comes to Republican and Democrat. And you could even turn a blind eye to your whole damn religion.
My father-in-law, one of the first questions he asked me was, who'd you vote for?
See, if you would have gave the wrong answer, that would have been it, bro. You would be single.
I did give the wrong answer.
You did?
I said I voted for Obama. He's like, you did what? I was like, yeah. He's like, he walked out the door, and I was like, I was like, guess I won't ask to marry.
Hey, to be fair, Obama got my ass early too.
Yeah,
I didn't. You know what? I didn't know no better. But
yeah, it's all good.
So, any political divide in your family, or are they all just straight Republican?
No, there's big divide.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
Is there any beef going on with your family? Because my family is
every single
tell
time.
us the story, Ashleigh. I'm curious.
Every single time there's a family gathering, there's Republicans on one side.
Let me guess.
and
Mom's side is Democrat.
Well, I only go to mom's side.
Oh, okay.
So that entire family is mixed.
Oh.
So there's always a battle of everybody talking.
Who usually wins?
It just gets real intense. There's no winner. There's no winner. There's just a lot of yelling going on. It's real fun to watch.
What do they yell about? Like, what's the one thing they always yell about?
Money.
Money? Like what? Like, you mean
Part of my family has a lot of money.
Okay.
And I have a businessman as an uncle.
And this is politically fueled?
Yes.
Wow.
And you know,
Let me guess.
Republican.
Hold on. Let her.
Republican, but then my aunt, Democrat, always battling, always fighting. And I don't really understand.
Let me just ask, which family member makes more money?
The Republican.
The Republican.
He's a business owner.
Yeah, he's a business owner. My aunt just like.
If you want to stay poor.
Married in.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
If you want to stay poor, you know what to do. Oh, man. Yeah, the divide is crazy. You know, it's I asked you when you brought up the poll, I asked you how long ago that was done.
I think it was 3 years ago. I remember reading it maybe a year ago.
And the reason I ask is
probably
because,
relatively new.
You know, like, you're half our age, right? And so I remember being able to have conversations with people that you completely disagree with, and you can still be friends and disagree and still have love for each other and just say, look, we don't see eye to eye. Nowadays, it's like all in or nothing. I try to have a conversation with someone about a touchy subject, and they haven't spoken to me since. And I was respectful. I listened to their side of the conversation, but then they started going into a frantic. And so I have not heard from this person, and it's been over 2 months. And we were very close. So
was it your mom? Are you taking her to court?
It was my damn dog, all right? He hasn't spoken to me in a long time. No, so yeah, it's okay to disagree, right? As long as you're respectful. That's my
right. All right, well, that's going to conclude it for today's show. If you're enjoying this, if first time watching, please subscribe. Also, drop some comments in the description or the comments in the comment section. We'd love to get back to you, and we will be back at it again next week. Probably just Friday, but maybe we'll launch a special episode in between. So we'll find out. But you'll only know if you're got the notification bell checked as well. So with that said, any parting remarks there from correspondent Ashleigh?
Why do you keep calling us fucking correspondent? What are we on a fucking news channel?
Yes, kind of.
No.
Going on to our correspondent who's at the eye of the hurricane in Florida. By the way, if you're in Florida, stay safe. That shit's crazy.
Dude, man.
That shit is crazy. One of our friends lives in St. Petersburg, and the dude's house is like gone.
Yeah.
It's almost flooded. So yeah, stay safe.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, until next time, until next week, thanks for watching Bull Broadcasting. Till then.